Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to our the Harran series here on the Lord Master channel. The realm has expanded again, but not in Mesopotamia, but rather outside of it. But into Khuzestan, for the most part, except for this part here in Ramhumuz. We don't need to fight a war over that. I mean, if I had my druthers, I would like to, just say, hey, you can go independent, leave me alone, because I'm trying to reduce the vassal limit, which isn't helping me. So all I could say is, you, get out. You'll be left in your own devices. Only because I don't like that little thing sticking out like that. Unless I want the rest of this, but I don't need to. Trying to reduce the direct vassal limit. Though there are ways of doing it. And plus, I want to hold control of this area personally. Yeah. And also would like to take Kufa as well. Well, these three areas there. And then, we will get them. And, so there's too many little vassals, running around there. So I'd like to have that reduced. By any means. Some of which may have to get rid of you personally. You revolted against me, you're already punished. Can't imprison you again, because that's tyranny. Unless someone else did something stupid. Kind of like you. You did something stupid to me. You turned me away during the tour. I'd like to get rid of you and give it to this man. In fact, I may do that right now. Even though it says no chance. Yeah, you and what army? All you got? Okay then. In this case, we shall move in and take care of this matter. Get the men in arms. Send them to Baghdad. There's all men in arms here. How about Kufa? You'll be there. Move out. Yes, it's a small force, but we're only going to besiege that, and then by the time they get there, war will be over. I arrived back at my castle, a long, lonely walk. Another year passed, another year older. I was born this day 28 years ago. The older I get, the more I cherish the relationships I cultivate over years. So it saddens me I have not heard from my wife Anna or any of my friends today. I trudge along to my chambers, loneliness impeding my lazy feet when I hear a clang and hush whispered down the hall. What could that be at this hour? Happy birthday. What a surprise. All my nearest and dearest friends have come together to wish me well. As I begin this next year of life, there's an entire table laden with candled figs, my favorite. Here I was, thinking that everyone had forgotten about me. Can't believe that Anna went through all the trouble of arranging this in secret. I had not such a clue as a thoughtful surprise was being planned at all. My friend Abdul Wahab approaches me, struggling to carry 3 beautifully wrapped packages. Ever the trickster. Says, I have 3 gifts here for the choose. One shall be yours. Which shall it be? Give me the biggest one. The Al-Harani sword. Just like the sword of our ancestor. As our Order of the Warriors at Tammuz grow, we need more land to which organize our defense of the Harranian faith. Ekata Batula, which is located up there in Nineveh. It's perfectly suited its purpose. You got it. This will continue to grow larger. Let's say clear rationality. Gosh, you're terrible now. Well, there's a good reason. You're infirm and you're melancholic. You are not suited to be the Antiquarian anymore. Give it to him. I heard your allegiance loyal to me. By the time you arrive, imprison him. And if he refuses, which he will, because he's a lunatic and he has no idea what he is in for, what he's got himself into. Alright. You know, he's right here next to us. You'll finally get your payback. Begin the siege, it'll take 5 months. You're caved in now. And your friend ain't gonna save you in time. You're gonna be holed up in there. This is how we police matters. Heading from my chambers enjoys a blessed sleep when I hear a faint rustle just when I think, till the wind starts to speak. Yes, sure. Open up, my beauty. It is I, Talia. Hush shudders, and lo and behold, a woman has climbed up at Ashur's window. It's my vassal, Rabba Talia. What did you just call my uncle, you queen? How do you say that word? More Harranian peasants are on the move. Ah, yes, I gotta reinforce relations with Silk communities after this. Yes, brah, Mirasami has honored me a visit as brought one of his courtiers on. She approached me excited. Well met, Miruta Ashur. It pleased me to see you thriving here in Haranu. It occurred to me that Adhai here might be of service to your court. He's an incredibly talented scholar, the brightest I ever learned from. I would make use of myself, but alas, it doesn't seem possible. I would hate to see this great talent go to waste. Why don't you take him and unleash his potential? Oh boy, I know a place just for him. Gashosta has arrived today near the court's presence estimator. As it stands, there's a plot being devised by an unknown agent trying to defame me and frame me, causing havoc in my press relations. Of major concern will be the reaction of my vassals, as the balance of power within my realm might change abruptly. In the knowledge, there's still time for my Gashosha to prevent this horrible deed. I must be on guard for the worst to happen. We got a lot of money, so provide additional funds for the investigation. Depends on your intrigue skill, which clearly you had better days. Oh, I clicked on it, damn it. Uncle. Uncle Elisha. He's an exorcist, you dummy. Flighty on the return. Like every noble is expected of me that I'll be able to ride a horse both often and well. I could hardly administer a seer if I didn't, after all. Today's errand is a trivial task at rule, Harran. Something that my entourage and I are best able to resolve quickly, then put. Without warning, my state bucks, spooked by some small animal on the trail, almost thrown hard, only wresting control back at the last moment. Whoa there, girl, calm down. That could have been nasty. Excellent. Now it's cheaper to... well, cheaper. Now it costs less to have these battles introduced. Also, is it time to, like, say, go for this? No, 10 more years. I forgot. You're thinking of another thing. No, anyways. Would love to increase the size of the men-at-arms regiments because of, you know. But instead, this will take 5 years. Valorious successor warned me just in time for the complex operation frame was underway on the orders none other than Immersion of Dulafit. That's up there, the Persian Jewish. I swift around my council and my court and my vessel warned of the nefarious spot. Fortunately, it all ended well thanks to the efforts. A job magnificently done. You are humble, and you also learned Arabic. Important language for you to know. I exit my tent. Siege camp sprawls up before me. The ragged camp of canvas hovers the crowded between the barren slopes of Arava and the forest at its back. The sky is choked with smoke from fires burning in iron cauldrons. Flames so huge that they cast long shadows on the desolate field. Flags hang limply in the rain fog there, whipped now and then by the wind. Everything is covered in a thick sheen of grey damp like a mud-laden lake. My loyal retainer approaches and informs me that the siege is ended. I gather my bodyguards head to the edge of the camp. The Da of As-Saman, who stands for me, a tattered glimmering, a pennant fluttering from the highest tower, its flames raging to the pre-dawn sky. Empty supply carts lay gutted and burning everywhere. Giant wooden doors hang in a twisted, jarred black frames. The windows of the tall keep are strewn like silvers of broken glass onto a cobblestone street. In blood-blackened wreckage sits prompt in the piles in abandoned doorways. Grieving widows clutch small children to their bosoms as they flee, their clothes tattered and torn. Spare it. It ain't their fault. We're just here to get rid of that man and his family, or anybody else for that matter. Get out of here. All yours. Because you deserve it. No lunatics allowed. And this was a defensive war, keep that well in mind. Is it not? I mean, it was a vassal. It was within the realm. But we'll return to, you know, expansion again. You rated? They're into this together. So we can take care of this one next. Actually, it's got 2 baronies. Crud. Okay, next war of that. And then we'll get Kufa. And C2 if we can try to vassalize these two. We're gonna need one more and then create that tunnel, then we're golden. Pull back a bit. Begin the next one immediately. Man-at-arms only. It'll take 3 months. See, I could be good enough to lead if I put an effort to it. So what, after we assemble, go pick them up from Kufa and begin the siege. I think you should go for diplomacy instead. Because you might pick up similar personality traits to mine. Do all these things. Oh, no need to read them to you. Sorting everything. Even though I should really stop swaying that man. Oh, it's time for bed. Glad I was able to help. Now stop swaying. He likes you well enough, even though he's a questionable man. What other unruly vassal should start swaying? You up there. I know you want a mid for yourself, but let's talk about it, okay? And speaking of talk, need a legendary sighting in the realm somewhere, because you know the panther. I mean the leopard. Well, panthers, leopards, pumas, they all have similarities. Most of the commoners living in the Compatibility are of Ashur descent, Assyrian descent. Proud of their traditions, it does not sit well with them as they must serve a foreigner like myself when my neighbor, Amir Tamuza, shares their culture and history. Change it to Syriac right this instant? I'll say teach them the superiority of the Syriac culture. This gives me some stewardship. And it did. But we're still brothers. As the realm is passed by the state of warfare, I'm faced with the choice of ordering my troops to act in an aggressive and callous way against my foes and the enemy population will allow me a little bit of the martial lifestyle, or I can take the opposite path, stressing the obligation of my troops to act in a sensitive way to vanquish foes and enemy commoners. The choice is mine. I would like to have 2 of them. This goes against it very, very much. It stressed me quite a bit. You know what, give me this, in case if I have to duel against rivals, which there is one out there. And you know what, get this too, because Night effectiveness. I want them to fight better knowing that we're back on the offense. But don't expect me to lead troops. Sometimes feel like the entire world rests upon my shoulders. My responsibilities in Miruta of Harran are endless. I barely have a moment left for myself. This is my duty after all. Don't worry, I thought of a way to reduce the stress. I'll hold a feast. Go get him. Oh, and by the way, you know how we have this issue since the beginning of this series of why I can't choose certain characters to command the army? That's because it's one of the mods I use. I believe it's the Prisoners of War mod or one of those other mods that allows, you know, commanders to have to travel to get to their army and all that. That may have been a factor on that, although I'm not quite sure. Especially, it's in the settings. In fact, let me show you real quick before we get time taken on. In the game menu, go to Game Rules. There is Prisoners of War from mostly mechanical mods. Yeah, 3 new features: Gather Commanders, Prisoner Transit, and Prisoner Release Travel. I turned off the Gather Commanders option, which will teleport to the army center. So, for the player, a character can only be assigned a commander if they are in the same location as the army are being assigned to. If that is not the case, the Select New Commander will show as Gather Commander button, estimating their travel time to their army. Using the button that travel towards the army upon arrival will be assigned a commander. Should a commander be removed from command for any reason, they will start to travel back home. If they have prisoners to transit, they will first travel to their liege's court to transfer the prisoners to the dungeons. By default, travel events do not happen on those travels, but can be able to the proper settings, so I have that turned off. But yet, still has to, in a prisoner transit, that's on right now. So, when captured during a battle, siege, or raid, the prisoners will stay with the commander that captured them. As a consequence, an army's without commanders can no longer take prisoners. When the army reaches its owner's capital province, the prisoners are transferred to the dungeons. When an army is defeated in battle, they are transferred to the enemy commander. Should a commander die or an army beaten without a commander, the prisoners will be liberated and start the journey home, even if the prisoner release travel set to off. But this is set to all for prisoner release travel here. Upon being released or escaping, prisoners start to travel home. A setting enables restricting this feature to evaluate the performance costs should it become an issue. The default setting blocks all travel events for returning prisoners, but those can be able to the proper setting. So that Gather Commanders, I had that turned off because there was this issue where when you, especially when you're a player character, which I'm sure they'll have it fixed whenever it's updated next time, I hope. Although I'm not sure about the series, but certainly in the next one that I'll do. Where every time you return to your home after you were leading an army, after you disbanded, and then once you get there, you get this event pop up where you came back home, but it popped up 100 times. And sometimes if you do with travel events where you gain Wanderer and all the trade experience, now imagine that pop up 100 times again. And that means you get all the experience little by little, and you're all the way to the max. That is, not what I would want. Because, that feels cheap, one would think. So I had that turned off because of that issue alone. So hopefully they'll have it fixed by the time when I finish this series and start the next one, which will be in Sri Lanka, by the way, for the upcoming player pack, because I'm far interested in that one. Now, while they do this ongoing siege, I shall hold a feast, because I want to have a good time and lose some stress. So let's hold a feast down in Sarsar, right in the middle of Mesopotamia. No need for these things. Prestige gain and great opinion gain. I just want to have recreation. just to reduce stress quite a bit. And who's going to be the guest of honor? Let me think. Well, all the landed characters like me well enough. So, yeah, him. You won't be there. Well, I'd rather have that. Well, okay, change location. Aha, there we go. So, fine. We're trying to get him over here to do this. Everything will be the same, though. You'll be there. I mean, I'd rather have reduced cost, so try that again. One more time. Back to the original location. The guest of honor will be there, because I told him to. He needs to be here so I can give him the toast. And I just want to have a good time. You got that? Get it? Got it? Good. It's just me and a select few. I am Sama of Kafut. I bet dozens of men in combat, and honestly all those fights are dull, so here I am on this road looking for someone better than me. Someone I can learn from. If you can best me in combat, I'll become a valuable and loyal servant, so on this day I demand you in a fair fight. Oh, I would love to have you in. Gotcha. Welcome to the retinue. Where's he going? Back home, and we're gonna drag your ass out. Aha! Shortcut, and we're here just in time. Servants run across the hall bringing fondant decorations. Some of the guests are yet to arrive, and I dodge myself with a delicious drink by the fire. Oh, I've seen spotted some fresh quail already. We'll have a lovely time ahead of us. He's in Nineveh, but he's still on the way. As the days pass, I hear nothing about the black leopard, and I grow restless. Surely someone must have seen it. What about all the peasants who litter the farmers? Maybe I should appeal for their assistance. He's currently over there. You may not like me this, but I'll send Nuri for this. Find that leopard. He's on his way. He got hurt along the way, so there's a delay. I step out of my tent and rub my eyes. Sage caps balls over me. A sordid place, pathetic and undignified. Pennants snap in the wind in places held by crooked tree limbs. People bustle about, loading meals and checking supplies. A thin column of smoke climbs above the camp, and the smell of cooking fires fills the air. My low retainer approaches and informs me that the siege is up. I gather my bodyguards and head to the edge of the camp. The idea of Savata stands for me, a smoldering ruin. In the fields between, tents burned and bodies are strewn. I watch the refugees scurry among the dying fires of the abandoned homes, their shadowed forms moving among the collapsed walls and teetering lines of bleeding chimneys, slithering into doorways, holding on to meager possessions. Survivors huddle in the ruined houses. Well, allow limited looting there for once. But please release them all. I don't want to get too stressed out again. Actually, Give me the money. Actually, no. Just... God dang it. You know you're gonna prolong the siege, right? Prolong the war, I mean. Yes, you did. Anyways. Guests are gathered in a great hall. Lords and ladies from near and far reaches as well. Must admit that I'm not being able to bring weapons detracts from the appeal of the celebration. The mood is bright, the spirits high as the feast begins. Jay Tamusa, what happened to you? Welcome, friends. I stumble outside to relieve myself as I hear shouting around the corner. As I turn to see my vassal, Valadonia sneers, she sinks her blade into the face of the cowering mare, Anina. Whatever sound it must have made her. Donia turns towards me, surprised her face. What was that all about? Did you two had a rivalry or something? Made a mistake appointing you. I'll say, everyone will know of your crime. We're gonna have you arrested for this. You murdered her. Is there anything more jovial than a good feast? Guests throng to and from, feeding and chatting while flickering torches plays off every wall. Light bouncing like laughter around the hall. It's delightful to see the milk of human kindness being shared so freely. Sometimes it's nice to simply sit back and enjoy the little things in life. This is where I want to be. All the stress is gone. My lord, the wine. We cracked open the next barrel and it's gone bad. It's all gone bad. The feast's still raging. We're about to drink, the mood is sure to dwindle at a cruel pace. Time to crack open my secret stores. Such a joy to see my wife. Once again we eat, drink, and sing together, as if no time has passed since we parted last. We could have been dining in a barn, and this would have been still one of the greatest feasts I've ever been to. Ah, what would life be without her? Feast started to draw to a close, and my visitors sure expected to lavish a little attention on Amir Tamusa, our esteemed guest of honor. Traditionally, a complimentary toast and deep drink of Valet Shaba does the trick. Then again, all Tamusa did was to turn up. The feast was my idea. I paid for everything and I hosted everyone. And now, a toast to Amira Tamusa. A few candles survive as the last guest is left. I could hear a pair of servants letting out sighs of relief as the doors close. The food is still warm on the ceramic plates. Soon word will reach every corner of Rome, and every noble in their soul will know that my magnificence is unparalleled. For everyone headed home with bellies full of exotic delicacies, I'm proud to say that the feast was a success. Nevertheless, I'm still grateful this endeavor is over. Now that's all been done. Man, I should be banqueting more often. Ah yes. Go for this. Faithful magistrates. Reduce the total creation cost. That is a bigger priority. Come experience the future with me. 80-year-old man who has good health. He could live up to 100. What if it's poisonous? Oh no, plant trash. God dog it. We got some resistance. Thank the one, I can go inside again. What's the horse like? Not quite there yet. Now I'm nicknamed the Peculiar. Peculiar? The friends and foes knows me as such. And now reinforce relations with the Silk Road communities. Get the East Asians. And then bring in the East Asian specialists. When you have them around, that also further reduces the title creation cost. And vassals respect me a little more. And a popular opinion as well. And I can hold more land as long as I wish. I have communed with the One. You can't take celibacy if you have the Reveler trait. You don't go for that. Vassals will respect you more, knowing some of them are total foreigners. We can upgrade this further. It'll be just as fortified as Amit. Stepping on my tent and rubbed my eyes. Siege camp sprawls open for me. A brisk mass of tents, shacks, and lean-tos of wood and mud and shit. Pennants snapping in wind in places, held by crooked tree limbs. Shouts and cries ring through the damp air. My low retainer approaches and informs me that the siege is ended. And our bodyguards at the edge. The dial of Antiquity stands for me. A wasteland of charred corpses and rubble. In the fields between the dead and dying lie heap and grotesque mounds. The smell of rotting flesh hangs heavy in the air. Hitty with furious copper set of blood. Giant wooden doors hang in twisted, charred black frames. The windows of the tall stone keeper are strewn like silvers of broken glass on the cobblestone street, and blood-blackened wreckage sits propped in piles of abandoned doorways. Frightened survivors emerge from households, drenched in their skins, their faces bloated, swollen and blistered. Allow limited looting again. That's it. We sure caused damage to this place. This old fortress is the reason why it took a while for it to get it. Oh, it's all yours now. Look how much this is reduced in cost now. This is for you. Now, do you wish to swear fealty of our vassalage? I do speak your language, you intimidated me. Even religious exception you won't join. Not rightful liege. Unless if I decide to create the title of the Kingdom of Mesopotamia, which I can, and will, then we can bring the rest in without having a fight. In fact, I may do just that, especially that they're intimidated of me. Once intimidated, the other's intimidated. Okay. Okay, for once I'll do just that. I shall be the king of Mesopotamia. Gemiruta of Mesopotamia. They're both Confederate partition. We'll have to change that immediately. No, 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 not like that. They approve. Could that same apply to Mesopotamia? Yes. Let me present you with a gift. You'd look at us more highly this way. You can have your religious exception, but I'm not going to be your overlord for long. And as for you, I represent you a Taraz. And you'll join as well. And you'll be religiously protected also, but you're both going to be transferred to be vassalage under Abba. Vassals are less likely to join independence factions. Donya's feast. You want me to be your guest of honor? So all the heck way over there. Okay then. It's a long way to go to the one end to another. You know what? How I mentioned I want to travel the world for reasons? Well, this could be it. After this feast, can you take me to, well, first, go visit here. No, 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 no. Put me out at sea in the Persian Gulf. And then we make a quick stop here. And then that. And then back out to the sea. Into the Persian Gulf. And then there's a thieves' hideout. And Agabam. That is quite far. But, I mean, seriously, look at the landmarks of India. It may not have much. But think about it. Is it possible if I could go all the way to Lanka? Yes, but you have any idea how long you're going to be gone? I'd like to have some learning and stewardship for this. Which, in fact, I do have a university there. In fact, I see, hold on, it's transparent. Let me look at it closely. It says something about the maximum. We're definitely going to be out at sea for this. Actually, no, change course again. Stop at those two. Because these two areas there, that's stewardship, and you would want stewardship. Like to be an administrator pretty early. Land in Debutantes, which is capital of the Habari Sultanate, and there's a black market there as well. And then after that, then you'll be heading down to Gujarat to Valebi for more stewardship. Ujjaini. My goodness, I'm a regular tourist, aren't I? And then we'll turn back. Okay, that's about as far as I'm willing to go to there. Or, God dang it, there's more stewardship lifestyle. I really want to become an administrator this early on. learning, stewardship. Damn it, damn it, damn it, damn it. I just really want to be there. This is going to be one great adventure. And I'm going to be gone for 2 years. I'm not going to go all the way to say Patliputra. That's insanity. And plus, you'll risk all regarding your realm. Actually, after Multan would be back to the Arabian Sea. It actually costs a little less. A little less travel. And we don't need to bring Silk Road merchants for this. Providing a danger. Let me see. What about with Silk Road merchants? No, don't do that. I'm not that brave. Okay, it does gives a bit of safety, which there's little chance of danger during this whole travel. And we'll be gone for 2 years. People are going to miss me. But I want to go out on this great adventure. So I'm 30 years old. I'm a veteran traveler. I'm quite a pilgrim, which, honestly, if I had this trade up a bit more, actually would make a little difference. Ashur wishes to see the world. Or what's left of it. Like you say, it's like, okay, go off to a feast. And then, after that, he decides to travel to all these landmarks to Western India. Which, the realm the way it looks right now is, it's just how it is. Again, I needed an excuse to get off my throne and go to travel to places because I can't resist. So, from now on, as, we take care of Baghdad here. Take care of this realm, everybody. But as much as I like having her as regent, also I didn't consider who's with me on this entourage? Physician, High Shaman and friend, Harran Master, and a few courtiers. And my bodyguard, of course. Stick with me, alright? Hopefully, by the time I return, I'll hear something about the Black Panther. I mean, the Black Leopard. Ashur's great adventure now begins. And thank you for the vassalization. So, now allow me to grant you vassals. Go. This solves it a little. Travel down to Mesopotamia, and then we'll travel by sea, visit a few places around the Gulf, and then we'll go to Western India and make some fortune on the way back. Because I am a crazy person. But don't worry, the travel is to be safe, they say. The warm breeze caresses my neck as I wander to the orchards of Summa. The trees stretch gently towards the sky, colored by a mixture of new shoots and fruits taking shape. Suddenly, a high-pitched shriek pierces the air. I quicken my step to find a peasant child below the tree. It shambles and sobbing violently. It would seem she made an attempt to climb on a tree before slipping and falling on the ground. One of her bone pipes protruding at a strange angle. There. If I do that to the summon around, but no, it's just a bit of mold. Right, how long will it take now? 5 years. Recently, there have been rumors among commoners in Harran that a wise and benevolent holy man by the name of Kura Alako is going around secretly blessing every town, farm, and river and so on, chanting prayers and performing white magic to improve the lives of the people. Such stories are nice and inspire people, but no one's actually seen this Kura figure. People claim he just actually exists. Priests are also unsure of what to make of these stories as well. I'm sure he's real. Who else is here on this guest list that should be noted about? Yikes. You know what? Glad you named me as honorary guest. What's this man's name again? What's the drunk's name? You then. I'd like to befriend you while I'm here. While we're waiting on the other guests. Oh, I can't have you around. Is there anybody in my entourage that is a physician? Or potentially next physician? You may... You. Caravan Master. Your aptitude may be poor, but give him time. He might get better with this. Take care of my child, of his education. You know we're building buildings here. Why don't you have a royal architect, you dummy? You should be having a master of the horse for better night effectiveness of just about everybody. And finally, an active accolades again. We do have a successor in mind. Every guest scattered a great hole in our gracious host of Adonia is welcome to us all to the feast. This better be worth my time. It has been taking much evening to get myself close to Akkad while making it feel forced. After all, the best friendships are natural. What I'm thinking is spontaneous. By Allah, extols my maybe friend, barely disgusting about it. This was a heavy course, and soon after it was the last weighty one. It simply sits totally in the stomach. I simply cannot believe that the servants expect to keep serving their mistress working this poorly. Sadly, it was just a poor choice, I think. Alright. Be my friend now. How'd you like to come join my court? You might be an excellent spy master instead of this man, who is my uncle. Two is the Queen's color stalks towards my friend, receiving anger in his eyes. He had a knife in his hand, and I do not even stop to think. I grab the closest thing that could be used as a weapon and charge. This is Donya's court charmin, who's a Mandaic. I just befriended this man. I'll deflect the knife, so 66% chance that no one is hurt, 23% chance that I almost manage and he gets wounded, and 10% chance that I fail and he gets killed and becomes a murder. No one is hurt. We had an attempted murder here. I listen intently to the man Nasrad, and as he carelessly reveals all manner of things, distracted by getting one last drop from his tangle. He's oblivious how carefully I'm paying attention. Once he realizes, he starts getting up. I'm only rambling. It's not true, any of it. Deviancy isn't a criminal, but I may blackmail you one day. You may never know. We could all tell Amir Alexandros had too much to drink, though he insisted on showing us how sober he was. Sipping rises to prove too much of him, and now I'm covered in sticky vomit. You ought to be ashamed of yourself. Sergeants on the cross, I'll bring you final decorations, some of the gifts yet to arrive, and I indulge myself with delicious drink by the fire. There's no place I'd rather be. I can't wait to go home. A toast to me. That's a lovely moment. I've been rather looking forward to all evening. It comes all too swiftly. It's nice to be appreciated. Thank you very much. Daylight pours through the windows, and just when the whole hall becomes illuminated. Most of the seats are now empty. Some servants hand me my weapons and take their leave with a cheery bow. What a pleasure to have you with us, Donya smiles at me. What a feast. Before coming, my clothes are slack or ill-fitting, and now I staggered out of our halls twice, full of food and veterans on around. This was a feast I will struggle to forget, but I shall now depart. And now time for me to go on this great adventure, which I will dedicate the rest of this episode to. Our caravans has become a little lost in these foreign lands. The Donya's been trying us to pass him for hours. They swallowed his pride and asked for directions. He does not appear to be an expert Elamite speaker. I don't know Elamite either, but I'll give it a try. I just got lost. Plus, I appointed you as physician. I have heard that Kuzi fishermen are famed the world over for their ability to strip the ocean of its most bountiful and delicious plunder. Today, by the shores of We Azamid Kaved, I am fortunate enough to come across a Kuzi fishing fleet. Our entourage sails close to a stray member of the fleet, and I'm greeted by the pungent odor of its captain. An honor, my lord. Can I interest you in our finest catches of the day? The heck. For the next 2 months, we will eat well tonight. Hearing several thuds and angry screams coming from the outside, I hasten out for below deck only to find Donya and Zarika in the tent saga. I swear to you, we're going the wrong way, and not a single step forward until we resolve this. You stubborn old goat, can't you see this entire entourage is also by you and your sensitive soul? Neat, to make amends now. Plus, what is the wrong way to the sea? We know exactly where we're going. Trust in the captain, will ya? Gonna make brief landing, and we just went on a circle. Did you just saw that? Why not organized march? This is simply for travel speed. Because I would like to get back home as soon as possible. You wouldn't want to be out there forever now, would you? Say a quick prayer and move on. Glad we got out of there, because they were raiding earlier. While traveling the road then, we discovered a horde that none of our food supplies are going bad. It appears earlier on our trip, the food got mixed with a lot of water by accident, and now it's rather moldy. There aren't any settlements nearby, so we'll need to forage and hunt for some food to hold us over. But, though, this will waste time. On the other hand, we can tough it out, ration out what food we still have, and hurry to the nearest settlement. Let's take our time to forage and hunt. We're not quite at the sea yet, it doesn't count, we're still on land. It's not time yet. Visited the thieves' hideout. You could create tool. Salvin, you're the good one. First of the Courtier nobles. That's a little culturally biased. So now you have 2 acclaimed knights. We're gonna be so damn rich that I have no idea what to do with. Jiminy Christmas. Now we're back at sea. Not quite yet. To the Gulf of Oman. We're heading to the coastal part of the Arabian Sea. Going to India for the first time in my life. Here's something to spend money on. Ooh, you want to go on an adventure? Health is fine. You got it. Worry not, my great Amiruta. I'll do Azim. Vows with a dramatic flair for his well. I shall venture out to explore the world in your stead, while you continue ruling over your realm. What I bring back will be the subject ability will feel my accomplishments permeate through the momentum of my adventure. There's a slight pause with this. On that note, there's an area of the world you're interested in, my lord. Well, I'd never been into Europe much, so I'll say go to Europe. Doesn't matter which part of Europe. I'm going to India. I'm going on my own adventure. Visited here. There's a Sultanate of Sind and the thieves' hideout there. Well, it's a... Well, yeah, it's a black market to be... Let's be technical here. Now we're coming across a war zone. Leopard struggle. Our journey violently interrupted by the sound of tearing flesh and gnashing jaws. Desperate cries of a man about to meet his end. The noise is so horrific it must have come from the depths of the underworld. Attempting to track the source, we find a desperate Esper struggling with a wild leopard. His blade is wedged between the beast's jaws, but his grips beginning to falter. Harran Nagapaka. This man deserves my help. Now beat the leopard. And so, this man here joins us. Please, no fighting. Not an orgy guy. The time has come for you to depart upon my adventure, my Miruta. My beneficiary will do as balance as well as he can while weighed down by heavy bags. Before I leave, please tell me, is there anything, sir, you want me to keep an eye peeled during my journey? There's one thing I do not have yet, and that's like, what are we lacking? Something to put on walls. So I'll say a tapestry or artwork that makes me wish I was there. You know, I'm going to places where no man from Syria has ever gone before. Except maybe the Nestorian Christians, because we know there are some in India. It's not the first time I catch my caravan and going fiddling around some flowers to be picking along the road. I swear I can even hear him sighing, overlooking combat soldier. My lady says, notice it's not a secret in which my heart's found a new home far from home. Last my age, my soul aches for Chachi Nidevi. Desire knows no end. Her eyes, her hair, I long for just a salute and die for a word, please. Beg of you, let me stay with her. She's gotta be the nicest person in the world. We have enough room in our cart to welcome both of you. Food's gone bad again. Take our time to forage and hunt here and combat. Just we're about to break camp morning. On our way to Harranu, I find Donali in our lodgings, breathing heavily till she squints on my scrutiny, letting out a belly and cough. She contracts something. It's an epidemic. I know a cure. Trust me. And processes ground to a halt, the stone's throw away from Dadipat. I'd look over to see my fellow traveler Avi, dismounted and tenderly staring at the stone on the ground. The entourage members have gathered around him. Avi looks up as I approach. My lord, there's an ant path here. I may be a tad superstitious, but you should never cross an ant path. My great-grandmother did, and she never returned home. It's nonsense. I'll take over as guide. And we got lost. Meanwhile, in Europe, my liege, the adventurer of the Azem sends word. Somebody exclaims on for 10 days and nights. Me and my party have been hiding. The bandit lord of Crusader has set a blockade on the road we must travel. What are your advice? Caution, or should we fight them? Trusting Allah to keep us safe. Sign of the Wizard. Portraits. Oh no, a Norseman. But fortunately he's an old man and a poet. This gold should suffice as a bribe to let you pass. Money solves everything. Visited a university here. What university? A university. Ah. University of Ujjaini. It is nightfall, and Debutantes is hard at work when we arrive at the cereal fields south of Rampura. Fiercely flattening crops at a rapid pace, using a large, flat piece of wood and heavy stones. I frown as I watch the man performing his labor, then inquire what exactly looked. He winces and starts a long rant about how we all need to wake up and meet our true master instead of hiding behind the false Jain teachings. Take a step back. Nice. Okay, you loony. Alright then. We stayed on the road slightly too long and the sun is starting to dip below the horizon. Out of the surrounding terrain, shape starts to merge and form an angry-looking armed figures. This here road has a toll. Pay up, says biggest and frankly the ugliest a bunch. My Courtier steps forward with weapons raised and looks in either direction. Tolls are for peasants and out of Meuruta. Slightly exploitive, isn't it? Using the Silk Road merchants and then travel from God knows where, and then you make some more money along the way, especially if you are highly skilled in both diplomacy and stewardship. Shortcut. And now we'll make our visit to Dili soon, and then we'll turn around and head home. Honored to serve. Keep one of my 32.8. 33.4. Now let's begin to head home. You should just spend money on fire. As we ride through the lands heavy with agriculture, our next stop is a local plantation in Dadrula. As I spot the gates about 100 paces away, something is off. I hail the accent of smoke. Smoke? Fire! I suddenly notice the pillar of smoke taking shape over the plantation. The column is thick and heavy, too large to stem from one of the workers, burning some stray debris. 0% chance I get disfigured. Oh, let's evacuate the people from the workhouses. I'll be a firefighter. So I saved some local workers during the fire. That's right. I put out fires and rescue people from their doom. As I stated, we're looking to build more buildings. So I'm spending my money on. Especially here. Oh, I know what else. Hey, wait. Check the Kurdish culture. Do they have, yes, they do. Okay. Get a city. Another one to be built here. Get another city here. Here's something to spend your heavy money on. If you want to increase the realm size, which again, as a reminder, it's the number of counties owned by them and their vassals. So I don't know if building more of these structures of cities and temples can actually increase the realm size. It does in Crusader Kings too, but I'm not sure about here, if I remember correctly. Oh, the old man finally croaked. You cannot grant a leased out title. Thank you very much. Okay, I'll temporarily hold this until I get back. This afternoon's quickly advancing nightfall as we enter the local farm estates of Multan. The estate owner, Jazaraja, greets us warmly. I promise to host a lavish feast for us. Once the feast starts, we dine on the venerable menagerie of roast animals, stews, soups, bread, and the like. In the morning, Jazaraja approaches me as I enjoy breakfast. My lord, hosting such an extravagant shindig yesterday can be expensive. Maybe he and I could come to an agreement. Get a weak hook on me. Actually, let me compensate you. Just a bit of mold. Not ill. How closer am I towards this? Get a few of this and then I'll likely go for this. For the sake of my children. Children. He's still in Harran this whole time. He's probably forgotten about me, one would think. But no. black leopard. My lord, this search of yours for a mere beast, I have to admit, it worries me. My high shaman Nu approaches me as I sift through the reported sightings of the black leopard. Evidently, anything that distracts so much attention could be sent by the evil demon. Do not assume its existence as a sign of the Supreme One. The leopard is a messenger from the One. Might be just correct. Mystics are everywhere in Matari. They go around preaching and sharing their knowledge. One day I get into a rather in-depth conversation about the meaning of life, with one of them waiting for the boulder to be removed from the path. What are you trying to do, remove an obstacle? I don't suppose there are Hindus here, are they? No, Shias. This is due to the fact that the local culture, the Sindhi, they have Medicant mystics. They have one of those things. So I'll say, what wisdom you can share with me? No, Medicant mystics sounds like a Harranian thing. Sonda is a home of a famous way shrine. It's Indian themed here. Say a quick prayer and move on. I don't want to spend any more time as it is, especially in this danger zone. Alright, now we are officially back in the Arabian Sea. We're going to be sailing back all the way to Abaddon, and then we'll be back in good old Mesopotamia. Back in good old Babylonia. Stewardship up. My son Ashur was asking for a sculptor for a long time. I told him I would get one in 3 months if he displayed more focus in his studies. He simply waved my offer away, saying he did not really care about that anymore. Fickle, eh? That's different. Vassals will respect you more this way, so you must focus on the boons that he already possesses. Plus, it's very virtuous, you know. Now, if only he became generous or just, then we'll have the most virtuous character that we'll ever have in our time. It's not my place. In fact, stop swaying him. There's no need to sway anyone anymore. Stormy weather. Enki does not clearly favor our voyage, as the waves the size of castles come crash down our humble vessel. The ship is rocked back and forth. Men and women alike cling to whatever they can from turning overboard as the ship goes closer and closer to capsizing. Of course, I'm stashed away with the other nobles in the safest part of the ship, as the sky burns with thunder and the sea crashes down on us with all its strength. I fear I shall not live to see another day if I try to survive on faith alone. There's a 9% chance I may die. But I'll say I'll trust our captain. 43% chance it will successfully navigate through the storm. 42% chance that he gets wounded and someone drowns. It could be anybody. 13% chance that he gets wounded and many entourage members drown. Could be me. Trust our captain. Someone drowned. Zarika, the Mendaean. That lunatic. He was one of our veteran travelers. He was a mainstay, I believe. No, he's been with us in many places, but he didn't make it back home. Collegiate caravaniers. As we wind on the outskirts of Abaddon, I see the trail of caravan camels in the distance. We meet with a stranger. Good evening to you, worthy friend. Come in, come in. I promise you that what I have in my stall, like Persia herself, for more than they seem, says showcases countless shiny tricks before my eyes. That's a good court grandeur bonus. See if I can make a deal. Successfully handled. Bank. Come on, I'm more than anxious to get home right now. Traveling across good old Mesopotamia. Make a couple of more haggles. And then we'll use that money by any means. And matter of fact, why do I get the feeling that the next couple of wars that we'll fight against, I may resort to using just mercenaries only? Forget about assembling armies, which takes months to get at them. Just bring in a couple of mercenaries in, and then, would you like to be Immersive champion? No, you're not. Give me the money. I know a cure. And then once we get back home, a fine day like this, the weather is nice. What happened? He died in an accident as soon as... Oh. The past years look great, and the local livestock are positively jumping and cheering their own guttural manner. The cows are walking next to their mothers, they're fresh, shiny, and clean. Overall, the place is very constantly run, though I noticed a couple of oddities I would manage a bit differently. The local patriarch approached. A fine morning to you, Lord. But these beauties not a sight to behold. I could apply some of these back home. Yeah, definitely. You know, none of these things give me a court grandeur, so put the damn lamp on that. That doesn't look like a lamp at all. But it says here, a shining golden lamp, encrusted with jewels. You feel the sense of phenomenal cosmic power when you hold it. Look at how strong we are with the amount of levies we have. When everybody's got positive opinion of you. That last hoggle didn't do. 784 days and 116 baronies. And I'll never forget that I saved countless lives at the fire of the plantations. Thank the one I can go inside again. I'm finally home. And you know what? I will cut this episode short. Because again, we got Mesopotamia mostly, if not all, secured. So, in the next episode I would like to have personal control to Tasta. But as of right now, I think this idea may be quite far-fetched. So instead, try to fabricate a claim here. Plus, where the hell you come from? Plus, you'll do much better for this job. It'll take 4 years. Get this claim, and kick him out. Kick him out of there, and the land is mine, and then I will do something about this. And as well as above the direct vassal limit. As I said, I'm holding this land temporarily, though I might give it to you. If you be a good boy and all. And also, we plan on expanding towards the direction of Syria. Although, I may possibly have to go grab these as well. Yeah, thought of a way to fight quicker wars. Though you may still have to bring your men in arms to action. Because again, if I were to put that over here, raise men in arms. Takes 0 days. So that's the idea. We're going to use that money for warfare. To hire about as many mercenaries as God sends, or the one sends. So we can expand around and take the areas faster instead of bringing all the levies en masse here. That would be the idea for conquest. So again, if we want to form our own version of the Neo-Assyrian Empire, you need to get up to 80. And I would say by taking these parts here, then you're more than halfway to get to what you need. So we plan on going down this way, and then eventually down to Philistine. Again, all these areas must be taken. And maybe perhaps our ally, one day when we are together and connected. How old are you? 48. Okay. So after, say, get closer, the rightful liege, if I form the kingdom of Syria, and then we have ourselves a new vassal that we don't have to fight for, and then we'll be joining us, and then we'll go down there, and then job well done. So we hope you people enjoyed this episode. We're gonna pick up on warfare, and I will take a break on travel for the time being, as well as get whatever artifact that's gonna come from this man who's in Europe, which he's currently over there in what the hell is it called? The Overhaul? What? East England. That's an Anglo-Saxon name for no, Bohemia's up there. Bavaria. That's the name. Sorry, Bavarians. Anyways, there's gonna be a lot more things to come in the next episode. But until then, so long for now.